This is Golf in Massachusetts. I'm Stephen Hanjack, and in this episode, we take a walk through ancient walls and atop seaside cliffs, visiting two of the most historic 9-hole courses the state has to offer.
We're at the Marion Golf Club, greatest 9-hole course in Massachusetts.
Shot. Comes in, right? And you get these top bunkers here, 30-foot drop. Are you going to land it 50 yards short and play it off the mound, or are you going to go right at it?
Located in Marion, Massachusetts, Marion Golf Club, or Little Marion as it's affectionately known, is a public 9-hole course regarded as one of the great hidden gems in golf. In this episode, we had the chance to catch up with 2/3 of the ownership group, while also getting the opportunity to play a friendly match with a local legend of sorts, Jonathan Soroy. As a Marion Club champion and with an impressive catalog of course history, Soroy was more than just a great player. He's also a teacher, and to hear him talk about Marion felt like an engaging lecture from your favorite professor.
Well, we know that George Thomas was from Philadelphia and he was summering up here. And he had worked on a golf course, I believe, down in the Philadelphia area, but he really wanted an opportunity to try his own hand at a golf course. And he convinced this Mr. Bullivant to give him a shot, and here we are.
Thomas was a real Renaissance man. He was a great golfer, a great rose grower. He went on to become the greatest rose grower in North America. He flew a squadron of planes in World War I, paid for the whole squadron. He was, I believe, a club champion at Philly cricket. So a real Renaissance man.
It begs the question, when you're walking around a course like this, is this like Picasso's finger painting, right? Are we looking for strokes of genius?
Yeah.
The infancy of his career. You know, and I'm really close to it, so I'm probably too biased to say, but there's something really cool, like you said earlier about the Friday comment about no rules.
Yeah.
Why not?
Architecture without rules.
You know? And you think the green surface is immediately behind it. It's not. It's like a solid 6 or 8 paces.
Yeah.
And then it's even farther back on 8. It's like a solid 8 or 12 paces maybe till you get to the green.
And the course, I think, from an architectural standpoint, is interesting because it really has been untouched since it was built over 100 years ago. And Michael and I and our team here have been hard at work trying to help improve the course's condition. It's really an incredible piece of art that we're trying to bring back. We've got a restoration planned in a couple of years, and we're excited about the progress.
So you played a ton of golf, right?
Played a lot of golf.
Have you ever seen like anything like this at all?
Look, I mean, like down the road at Catanzas, you'll see the chocolate drop mounds, right? So you'll see the sod-covered hills, which was just a virtue of like not being able to move them. You see those at Essex, you see those at other New England courses, but I've never seen them used strategically like this as a hazard that you have to get over. And you have to think, 1904, whatever, what do they call it? Steeplechase architecture.
Yeah.
The ground game was the game.
Right.
Getting the ball airborne was really hard. So this was like a ground hazard for a lot of folks. And we'll see how that wall, like deciding to leave that wall, for example, was very much in play back in the day. You can imagine. So that's a par 4 up the hill, fifth hole, 250 yards off the tee. That's a second shot ground game hazard.
Right.
With the advent of persimmon woods and even through like early metal woods, nobody's reaching that off the tee.
Yeah.
Say for a few big hitters. Now the titanium woods, it's back in play again.
Right.
But as a single shot, as the tee shot hazard.
Right.
So it's this really cool 120-year evolution. It's as engaging now as it was then.
We've been committed to trying to improve the golf course and keep it affordable since we took over. We've been able to put in irrigation on the tees and greens, do a bunch of tree work, bunker work, green expansions. We're planning a restoration in a couple years to really try to unearth and dust off this golf masterpiece that Thomas originally built. And we're excited to continue to operate with those core principles going forward.
On this tee, you see this stone wall that sort of splits the top half from the bottom half of the course.
Yep.
And that's just based on my understanding, that is a farm wall, right? That's just part of the original farm that was here. It might have been modified a little bit for the course, but I think that was there. And then here we see one that was most definitely built. It's created in the semicircle around the green.
Yep.
With the opening in the middle. The gladiators arena, if you will, right? Which was
It's just unheard of in golf. A stone wall.
Perpendicular to the line of play. This one has the biggest opening. 8 has a small opening you can go through, and the 9 is completely surrounding the green, right? The flash sand all the way to the top of it.
With a masterpiece like this waiting to be dusted off, it's not a matter of if, but who will do the work. Well, there's one person who has already been revitalizing another course just a little further up Point Road.
We've been speaking with Gil Hance, who's done the work at Catanzet and the Country Club and a bunch of other great clubs around Massachusetts. He's a busy guy, but we've both got a long history with him, so we're hopeful that he could do the work in a couple of years.
As for our friendly little match, the club champion quickly lived up to his title, easily pouring in a birdie on the first.
I remember my first completed round, walking off the green, I was hooked. And it's been,
Now you're the club champion. Club champion at Marion. So.
Please, don't forget.
We act as stewards of the golf course, and we are also committed to having this be an important community asset as well as a piece of golf history. We're focused on keeping it accessible, keeping it affordable. It's $23 to play 9 holes here, and also making sure it's accessible to junior players. So we're an anchor-like site for the young golfers amateur. We host that championship once every 3 years and the qualifier every other year. We have $350 memberships available for juniors. So we're focused on trying to give back to the community.
As golfers, we are blessed to have courses like Marion available to us. Open to all, welcoming to younger players and newcomers, yet challenging and enjoyable for the more experienced. And let's not forget its fascinating architectural elements. Rich with history, full of charm, and frankly, inexpensive. Marion is a place I wish I could call home. As for my match with Jonathan, it was fitting that after he battled through all the strokes generously granted to me via the USGA handicap system, it was his closing birdie that halved the match. Let's head out to the furthest reaches of Cape Cod to visit one of the only other 9-holers that could match Marion's rich history. Up in Truro sits Highland Links, our nation's first true links course, and to this day, still one of just a handful. The land that the course sits on is federal property and part of the Cape Cod National Seashore.
So what makes Highland Links so different, I would consider it more special, and it's just such a unique historic place. The Truro Highland Historic District has the museum, it's got the lighthouse, it also has the golf course, and you just have these beautiful rolling fairways with the fescue and the beautiful views with the ocean. Just really makes it an enjoyable place to visit as well as play around the golf.
For golfers who have always wondered what it's like to play a Scottish links style of golf, Highland Links is it. As British-American writer Alistair Cook famously said, Highland Links is the most perfect example of a typical British or Scottish links in the United States. So for a proper stateside links experience without having to make the trip cross-country to Bandon, Oregon, a pilgrimage up to Truro, Massachusetts is your best bet.
First of all, it's a humbling place to play, so it's not for the faint of heart, but it's just such a unique experience. It's great being up here on the cliffs, overlooking the ocean, seeing a lighthouse, and just being able to play golf all in one kind of setting. Just really makes it a really unique place to visit and play.
Impressions on Highland Links and your first time at a links course?
So this course, first impression with the wind, tough.
Yeah.
And this thick stuff, it's like hitting out of sand basically. Even though you got all the grass and everything in there, it's like, it's different for sure.
It's one of those places I find anyways, like even if I shoot a million, I don't care because it's just different. You're like, oh, I got to hit some different shots, these low bumpy ones.
Oh yeah.
And then a view like that, it's so
you
tough.
can't beat that. I've never played golf on the ocean's edge, basically.
Oh, really?
So
it's the first time?
Yeah. It's
Maiden
really
voyage?
Cool. Really cool.
Saying no watering, no trees, just kind of hit it, go find it. But it's really rough and bumpy around the edges because of the ocean and all the wind. But
That is correct. It is the oldest true link style golf course in America, dating back to 1892. It's not going to be the most plush or lush golf course that you play on, but it just really gives you that nice natural rolling terrain with the golf course, and we use less fertilizer, less water, and it's just a really great place to go.
Interestingly, the course was originally conceived as an add-on to the growing Highland House Resort. A baseball field and hockey rink were among the other additions and sat within the original golf course layout, all meant to enhance the resort experience.
So it was started up by the small family back in the day, Isaac and Edward. They were cousins. They purchased the land and opened up the hotel. And they also, their son, or Isaac's son, took over the golf course back in the day. And it was just really a nice place for people to travel when the railroads was connected to Provincetown. So people used to come back here to visit, stay at the hotel, and play around the golf.
Two of the most popular features of Highland Links have more to do with its setting than architecture. The golf course sits quietly below the watchful eye of Highland Lighthouse and boasts uninterrupted views of the Atlantic Ocean. The lighthouse is so rich in history that there could easily be a full documentary on its origins and evolution over the years. For example, back in 1996, due to natural erosion, the lighthouse was in danger of falling off the bluff and being swept out to sea. To save the lighthouse, a plan was put into action to physically move it 450 feet back from the eroding cliff. With the use of hydraulic jacks, the entire 484-ton structure was lifted, mounted on rollers, and set on train-like tracks, then moved. Over 18 days, the lighthouse was slowly inched back to safer ground where it stands today.
This is open to everyone. It's owned by the National Park Service and the Cape Cod National Seashore, and we are open to all visitors, whether it's your first time discovering the place, you've been golfing here for years. We welcome anybody to come out and give it a try. Again, it's just a special, unique place. We've been blessed to be the stewards of this location for the last 10 years with the Cape Cod National Seashore and the National Park Service, and it's just it's a very enjoyable place to wake up every day, go to work, and when you see people that come here from all walks of life, and they either, like I said, whether they're coming here for the first time or their 100th time, just to see how happy and relaxed people are when they come here and the enjoyment they get out of playing around here, it's very, very satisfying.
As if there wasn't enough charm to lure you up to Highland Links already, the course is also known for its ability to stay open year-round thanks to its oceanside setting. Just make sure to bring a couple of tens with you, as you'll need to slide your money through the mail slot before teeing it up.
So the Pro Shop is open April 1st through November 30th, and then we do go to the off-season honor system where you put money in the mail slot to the right of the Pro Shop door, and the temporary tees, temporary greens, but you're allowed to come out here and whack the ball around in the off-season when the weather is amicable.
And if you've ever seen the movie The Greatest Showman, this next little anecdote might be of great interest to you.
So the Jenny Lind Tower is named after a famous opera singer, European opera singer, and P.T. Barnum back in the day oversold one of her concerts, so the people were rioting the streets. So what they did is folklore has it that she climbed to the top of the tower and sang to the masses to appeal to everybody. And there was a gentleman who was a real big fan of Jenny Lind, and so what he did is when the train station closed in Boston, the Fitchburg station, he had it taken down brick by brick and moved over here to be enjoyed from this location.
Highland Links, while different in many architectural ways, is similar to Little Marion in that it is a bucket list destination. While the size and amenities are not meant to blow you away, the history, charm, and natural beauty surely will.
Here we go. Finally.
Let's go. There you go.
Thanks for joining me.
Oh
today.
yeah, it's great playing with you. I
time.
appreciate it. Yeah.
Enjoy the rest of your trip out here on the Cape.
As you continue your own personal journey golf in Massachusetts, Remember what you heard here today about our state's hidden gems? And we can't wait to hear about your adventure.